What's good, y'all? Back in there with another video, man. Fresh out of surgery. You know how it is. I still gotta record. I might record more, but this is literally the only footage I got. So bear with me, alright? Welcome to the first episode of Growth and Development, where I just talk about like what you can do in order to like grow in your life. Right? The first thing I really want to talk about, and has been on my mind for a really long time, is self-esteem. As you know, I know a lot of people here, especially my generation, they don't got no type of self-esteem, right? But what I realized is that the only way to get pretty decent self-esteem is by doing what you love. I think doing what you love would unironically get you better self-esteem, because doing what you love gets you more knowledgeable. More knowledgeable on a subject means that you can, right? It means you can talk with it with people. And talking with it about people ends up building up confidence. And building up confidence and seeing the positive reaction out of people says, you know what? Maybe I was overreacting this entire time. The only thing is, though, the overthinking part is the hardest part to get rid of. Right? It's the hardest part to get rid of. Because you may be knowledgeable on a lot of things, but because you overthink the situation, because you overthink what people would actually think about it, you think people would say, oh no, why is he talking about this like that? Bro's a nerd. Bro, what is he even talking about? Why are you even talking about this subject? Ba-da-da, whoop-de-doo, right? What you do have to realize, though, is one, you shouldn't really care about what other people have to say, but you have to not care in the right context, if that makes sense. Right? I still believe you should care about others, and you should put their opinions in mind. But if you see malice within that opinion, you should just leave it alone. Right? You should just leave it alone and just be like, okay, yeah, this person specifically is just speaking with malice, not with critique in mind. Right? And you can tell pretty easily when people are talking with critique in mind. Right? Right? It's all about the tone and how they say it. But it's all about the tone and how they say it. If they want, right? If they're completely sarcastic, okay. If they're completely sarcastic throughout it all, then that person is speaking with malice. Because there's a difference between using sarcasm as lighthearted, and sarcasm as, oh yeah, I'm just better than you at this subject, or I don't care what you have to say about that subject. There were many cases with me where I had both. Where I was the one overthinking, and I made someone overthink their current situation. Because what I didn't understand was, even though I was joking with people, even though I was trying to be there for people, let them speak, let them express themselves, most of the time it was me. Like 2 seconds afterwards, that's not okay. And I genuinely think this. If you want to, right? If you want to stop overthinking, try and be the person that lets another person stop overthinking that much and actually enjoy people's company. Because if you don't enjoy your own company, how is anyone else supposed to enjoy your company? You may think that people enjoy your company, but in reality, because you make everything about me, they don't enjoy your company and they think you're annoying. They think you're entitled, right? They think you have nothing to bring to a conversation except me. And one other thing, you gotta understand this, right? A lot of people, right? People make mistakes, right? I want you guys to comment about this. How many times have you given people grace that you wouldn't give to yourself? I know for a fact I have done that way too many times. Went too many times to count on 10,000 fingers. Right? I give other people grace. I'm like, oh no, it's okay. But if I do it, I'm like, oh come on, really? Am I really doing this right now? Oh my god! And now then I start overthinking, leading me to be less confident in what I want to say, and then that means I won't have confidence in even talking to others, and then that's what leads to low self-esteem and all that stuff. What I want you guys to learn, what I want you guys to find out about yourselves is that what makes you unique. That's what I want you guys to figure out about yourselves. What makes you unique? What makes you, the person watching this video? What makes you you? Because if you can find that out, you're already on the right step. And especially for my Christian, right? For my Christian folks out there, right? For my Christian folks out there who think that they can't, right? Who think that they will never be forgiven by God. First things first, you'll always be forgiven by God, right? You will always be forgiven by God, right? You will always be forgiven by God. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull up my favorite verse from the Bible. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay. Let me pull this up real quick. Where is it? Hold on, folks. It's gonna take me a bit. Okay. It is 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 says, in the King James Version, He said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather glory myself in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Let me move on to verse 10, because this wraps it up together, right? Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Right? God is telling me to tell y'all that y'all are perfectly fine the way y'all are. All your imperfections, all the stuff that makes you not like yourself are the same things that make people like you. Right? So what if someone doesn't like you? Then that person wasn't for you. It is what it is. Whoop-de-doo. Right? It is what it is. So what? Right? It's right. You are still you at the end of the day. You are still you at the end of the day. So it's best to focus on you. And right? Mainly the focus on God, right? Mainly focus on God, but mainly on yourself, right? No, focus on God. God is first, always. Okay, God is first always. But the second person you should focus on is yourself, right? Continue to love others. Continue to spread positivity throughout the world. Continue to fight back against a society that's being built to destroy us. Because I know you have the power to do that. I know you have the power to do that. So have I. I booted up this video. I booted up this video because this was on my mind. I booted up this video so I can tell you that you have the power to make a difference. Even if it's a small difference is still a difference. Right? Anyways, y'all. Man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I love y'all folks, alright? All the folks who've been supporting, all the folks who have been, who have been literally like, oh my god, where are the YouTube videos been at? I know there's a few of you. Not a lot of y'all, but a few of you. I really appreciate that. And I do want to get back to the swing of things. Unfortunately, with me having one arm, the best I'm going to have to do is probably switch the footage to like CPU versus CPU gameplay. But I'll do it for y'all. I'll do it for y'all because I want to just kick things started because I want to be the change I want to see. Right? That's what God has now called me to do. Be the change I want to see on this world. Because the world right now is rewarding the negative. The world right now is demoting the positive. The world right now is making blasphemy. The norm. And the world right now is making the norm blasphemy. What is that? That's not how the world's supposed to be. But yet here is what the world is trying to promote. So fellas, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to come together. Form community. Build bonds. Form community. Build bonds. Because then, definitely then, you will be able to love yourself. Because if you see that you're making a difference on the world, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, you'll be able to love yourself. And not just love yourself because you're making a difference in the world. Love yourself because you enjoy what you enjoy, and you make other people happy with what they enjoy in your certain niche. That's why I said you don't really care about what other people think. That's why I said you have to build bonds. That's why I said you have to be the change you want to be. Because if you're the change that you want to be, how could you actually ever hate yourself? Right? You have to fight against your mind. You got to fight against yourself, because the biggest battle that God will ever tell you to do is face yourself. Face yourself, because you are your own limiter as much as you're your own enhancer. But anyways, y'all, I love y'all folks, man. Probably will be back soon. And as always, don't be a degen.